Hello everybody, this is CJ Miller with Through These Four Eyes. I'm standing here in the basement of Oakland Orthopedic Appliance Incorporated, and we're here today talking with Nick Harrier, one of the designers here that does the appliances. Nick has made several appliances over the last 2.5, 3 years that he's been here, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about the appliances that he makes and the process in making them. Okay, it's all yours.
Okay. So one of the first things we deal with when we're encountering a new amputee is their expectations for what they expect a prosthetic to look like. And every once in a while you run into a bit of disappointment that it's just a pylon or a pipe or a tube to them. They don't see what they were expecting, which is something that looks like a leg or something more futuristic. So we've been trying to offer that for people. And one of the first requests people do, and oh, can we get a peg leg? There's something about being an amputee makes people want to be a pirate, so we had to build a peg leg. So this is one of the first things I designed when I started working here. It's a fully functional above-the-knee prosthetic with a functional knee on the inside with room to swing so the patient can sit in a chair, drive a car, everything while still operating this. It was designed for a left, so it might look a little awkward if you put it on a right, but that's the only thing. Most of these are designed side-specific, right or left. There's a few of them that are ambiguous.
Now, you started off doing things like this, you know, a couple years ago when you joined the company. Tell us about the process in making something like this and how it evolved into some of these other pieces.
Okay, well, these are the Model T. These are the building blocks that are required to further your skill. Everybody starts somewhere. I didn't know how to build these when I started working here. This was something that was born of necessity. People wanted something crazy, and nobody really had a manual to follow on how to give that to them, so we had to learn how. And
well, it's my understanding that Oakland is the only facility in the area that offers this kind of service, right?
I don't know of anybody anywhere that is offering exactly what we're offering here.
So it's not only specific to the Great Lakes Bay region in Oakland, but maybe specific to the country then?
There are a lot of companies that make very unique prosthetic covers, and one of those companies is even called Unique, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic covers, but they're a little different. They're a little more pieces to put on to get it on, whereas a lot of these are simple.
Yeah, something like this is exclusive to Oakland.
Oh yeah, most anything you're going to find from anywhere else is going to be kind of a boilerplate cover, meaning they'll print 100 of them and maybe paint them a little different to make them unique to the patient. But something like this or something like this, these are the only ones in the world.
Yeah, one of the kind pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the building blocks for something like these. If I wouldn't have started as a fledgling prop maker with something like this, and I hate looking at this now, and all I see is all the flaws now, things that I want to redo in it. But you know, fast forward a year and a half, and we're getting there. You know, a leg like this, something that took me a month to build before, I can now make something substantially better in half the time. So we're progressing with each project, and with each project we try to incorporate a new skill set, something I haven't done before, so that as we progress, we're not just doing the same thing over and over, we're incorporating new skills with each new project.
Now, you told me earlier that you yourself being an amputee, this is your own personal prosthetic.
This is my personal everyday wear. I wear this every day. It's extremely durable. I've fallen on it. I have opened car doors with it. I have hit many things with it. I've been wearing it since August.
Wow.
So it's April now, so it's pretty durable. This used to be my everyday wear, but again, I can't wear anything for about 6 months before I want to start building the next one.
Gotcha.
Always be making. You got to always be making something. You never want to have any downtime.
So with this piece right here, which is rather heavy.
Most of that is the actual prosthetic itself. If I were to take this apart, and you'd see that the cover itself is actually extremely light.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Weighs just over 1 pound.
Yeah, that's incredibly light. Oh, and you could see the incredible amount of detail on this now that I'm looking at it close up.
There's
too.
a fair amount of detail in that one.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
This was designed to cover an Autobach knee. So because I wanted to cover an Autobach knee, I still wanted to give credit for the inspiration that's being covered up. So that's the point of this hose. This hose is designed by Autobach. It's kind of like my homage to the creator of the knee that this is covering up, because I feel bad covering up somebody else's.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of work went into this knee, and it's a magnificent knee. So that's kind of my little nod at what I'm covering up.
Very cool.
But each piece is individually hand cut, measured out and made to fit. And then once each individual piece is hand cut and glued into place, then we can go over sealing everything, painting everything. And in the final stages of painting, that's when it really comes to life. That's when you add all those layers of depth and dirt and grime and, you know, years of simulated abuse. So
yeah, it looks like it's been through hell and back, so to speak.
That was the point of it. So it was supposed to look a little more H.R. Geiger-esque Space Marine. Took a little bit of inspiration from the original Aliens movie. Few other inspirations, but mainly these things tend to make themselves.
Yeah.
You find a little piece that you know you want to put on, and then just like a puzzle, it can only go together one way. So they kind of make themselves.
Kind of build around.
Yeah.
One
So I knew I wanted an eye on the front,
Uh-huh.
and I knew I wanted louver panels on the lateral side,
Mm-hmm.
and then I knew I wanted it to be able to light up.
Yeah, which is very, very cool.
So,
you know, that must thrill people when they come in and see that.
it's not what they were expecting, but that's the whole point. Is
Yeah.
people are gonna look no matter what.
Exactly.
So let's give them something to look at, but let's channel that into a direction of, instead of, you know, empathy and sympathy and feeling like, well, that person must really be going through some things,
Exactly.
to, oh my God, that's just awesome. You
Yeah.
completely sidetrack, and then you can control the dynamic of that relationship with that person from there.
Now, you deal with amputees of all ages. I see that you've got some superhero covers here. You've got some muscle tone.
Yeah, the Iron Man's one, again, everybody, you know, you get a lot of common requests. You get, you know, Pirate Leg, Terminator, Iron Man, so of course, we had to do it. You have to do it. Now, the problem with this, not problem, I shouldn't say problem, but anybody can do this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a two-dimensional design.
Mm-hmm.
Making it three-dimensional, like these pieces are, is what I intend to do with this.
Oh, okay.
This is not finished.
So you're gonna take the outline and
Exactly.
just... Okay.
I'm going to eventually transfer this. This is just going to end up in the lobby as probably a radio or a lamp or something.
Okay.
This is one of my old legs as well. So
Yeah, wow.
I get to experiment on all my old stuff
Yeah.
to test the process before I go giving it to a patient or promising things that I'm not capable of doing yet.
Gotcha.
So this eventually will be a three-dimensional model.
That I look forward to seeing. Because I know I see your stuff on Facebook all the time, you know, through the Oakland Facebook page, and each time I see a new product that you made, it is mind-blowing, the work that that gets put into these. You know, I believe these pieces were two of the last ones I had seen, and largely the reason we're here today. I know I've seen this one here before too, which... You tell me a little bit more about this one.
Well, there's a million different ways to beautify something, and hydrographics dipping is one of those ways. So we had to try to experiment with hydrographics dipping. And it creates a fairly seamless print on the face of the leg. Usually it has an extremely glossy finish, and it's pretty durable.
Yeah.
So it's one more option we have.
Are there any other options that you have at your disposal that aren't on display here today?
Yes, that one won't stay up for some
Okay,
reason.
I'll just
leave it, yeah. We do traditional cosmetic covers, ones that look like a traditional leg, where we try to make it look like fake skin and things like that. And we don't do a whole lot of those, mostly just because there's a stigma that's dying out with the new generation of people not wanting to hide it and not trying to hide it, and instead being proud of it and being able to show their metal. So,
Well, obviously you are giving them something to be proud of. I mean, if I was in that position, I'd certainly want something that's, you know, unique to me, personal to me, and these are very, very unique pieces. Now, speaking of prosthetics work,
you don't have to be gentle.
yeah, this thing is incredible. This is not, or it is actually.
It's operational, fully
Oh,
wearable.
I was not aware of that.
Nope.
That is
I can
very
put that
cool.
on with two screws.
Now, for those Walking Dead fans out there, this is something else. Look at that rotting skin.
I've made two versions of this. One, this is for myself to pass out Halloween candy to my neighbor children, and then I made a below the knee version just this last year that I hate to admit is substantially better than my own version.
Wow.
My skills got a lot better since I made this one, so I want to redo this one now as well.
Yeah, that's still though it's an incredible piece.
It's fun. You know, the thing is there's no shortage of ideas and inspirations. I mean, people are constantly giving me ideas.
Well, you're obviously very, very creative and very, very talented. You have a project in the works right now that you want to show us. So if we could step in that direction.
All right. All right, so this is an upcoming project that I'd like to have done in the next month. We're still in the infancy stages and planning things out, but essentially you can see how everything starts as roughly a skeleton. It won't look anything like this when I'm done. Mm-hmm. It will be three-dimensional and have all the individual cut pieces glued to it. Mm-hmm. And the only reason it has this peacock look right now with the blue and the green is because I use this leg as an opportunity to experiment with pigmentation designs. Gotcha. I mean, I'm going to be laminating anyway, so I might as well use it as an opportunity to learn.
Gotcha.
So now, when I'm building a traditional leg, like this carbon fiber below the knee socket right here, mm-hmm. we can offer tie-dyed effects now as well, which a week ago we didn't know we could do.
Wow, that is incredible.
So even though it has absolutely nothing to do with how this leg will ultimately turn out, it's another opportunity to learn.
Now, what's with the LED light? Okay. Oh, that's just the charging unit?
That's where the power source is coming from right now. Eventually it will be operated most likely by a 3.5 volt lithium ion battery that'll be hidden in the inside here.
Oh, wow.
The thing is to do the lighting animations that I want to do with this one, I still have to teach myself a little bit of programming.
Gotcha.
Because, like on the other leg, it's just an on-off switch. There's no animations, and as you can see, this light, there's no animations. Mm-hmm. It just blinks green, dies, blinks blue, mm-hmm. blinks red. I want to be able to have it chase around, go both ways, light parts, different parts. It's time to start getting into more control over what these lights can do and then create different effects. So if you can look, I don't know if your camera can pick that up, but the lighting actually shines through the lamination of the blue right there, beyond the green. So in the future, the plan is to be able to use that effect to build legs that look like they're on fire.
Oh, that is going to be sweet.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
Everything, best laid plans of mice and men, but they all got to start somewhere. So,
exactly.
The calf will be more secure. I'm just debating on whether or not I want to put the silicone light diffuser behind the clear panel, mm-hmm. or if I wanted to put more of that fake synthetic muscle underneath here, so when it's done it has more of a true biomechanical mechanical with integrated muscles built into the calf that you can see through a clear window. And again, when I'm all said and done, the whole thing might weigh 1.5 pounds.
Wow.
So it won't really impede the wearer's ability.
Yeah.
And again, this one will be for me as well. I don't get to keep the ones that I make for other people, sadly. It's kind of a tear moment when I have to watch it walk out the door, but it's a happy moment because when you see a patient love their leg, I mean truly love their leg, you know that you just improved their whole life. They're going to be more prone to go outside. Their entire quality of life improves if you can make a person love their leg.
And from all the feedback that you get on Facebook, for all the work that you do, I mean, you're obviously making a difference out there.
I like to hope so.
And it's just mind-blowing, some of these things that you're creating here that are out there in public, and your work is being shown in one form or another, amongst the whole community, and people are taking notice that, hey, we don't have to have just, a metal appendage.
Yeah, because normally it does just look like a tube.
Yeah.
It's a metal tube. So we've kind of gotten away from that a little bit, and I think with social media and I hate to say CGI, but I think people are expecting more futuristic legs. And we can't actually give them a Terminator leg.
No.
But I can give you one that looks like it.
Now, to close this out, is there anything you'd like to add that my viewers might want to know?
I'm just lucky to have found this. This is kind of a duck in water situation. A few years ago, I was on a different career path, doing something completely differently. I was a patient here, and if it wasn't for the Smith family bringing me into the fold, I would have never found that this is kind of my passion. I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing this.
They are an incredible family, and they've got an incredible designer here. Thank you
no.
very much for being with us today.
No, I appreciate you stopping by.